Good morning. What an exciting morning, right? Y'all happy to be here? Thank you, UMA Board, President Apanovich, distinguished faculty, administration, staff, families, and most definitely, UMA graduates. You know, when I was first asked to do this speech, I thought back to the lessons I learned as a 5-year-old boy living in my grandmother's house on the edge of a rainforest, teeming with king cobras deep in the heart of southern India. That little boy could not have imagined being on the stage here today, sharing with you the many lessons I learned over this long and winding road. Just joking, we're not talking about me. We're here to talk about you, all right? But before we go, I'd like you all to stand up. I know, they told you were gonna sit the whole time, but I'm gonna have you all stand up. Everyone. All right. Now join me in a round of applause for the graduates. Woo! You did great. Congratulations. Okay, you can go ahead and sit down. I'm gonna make you stand up and sit down and make sure you're awake while I drone on for about 2 hours, right? I got 2 hours? Just joking. I'm gonna ask you to close your eyes in a moment. And during that time, I want you to think back to all the people in your life that had a hand in getting you here to this point. We're so used to thinking about the hard work that we had to do, the sacrifices we had to make, and the obstacles that we had to overcome. Today I want to do something slightly different. I'm going to steal a page from the playbook of one of my personal heroes, Mr. Fred Rogers. Why don't we take a moment to be grateful? So go ahead and close your eyes. And everyone can do this because we've all been on this path. Who were the counselors and teachers that guided you? The family and friends that supported you? How did you even find out about UMA? Did somebody tell you? Who was the faceless person on the other end of the internet that posted a definition or some notes or even a video that made things a little bit easier to understand and clearer? Of course, you did a lion's share of the work. You studied hard. You juggled your lives and work and family and all the other responsibilities you had to get to this point. I would never take that away from you or deny how much work you put in to get yourselves here. But none of us could have made it to this point without a team. I would guess that many of the people that helped you along the way might not have even recognized that they were a part of your team. Even Sir Isaac Newton, the father of the physics that you probably loved studying, said, "If I have seen farther than others, it's because I've stood on the shoulders of giants," honoring the people that came before him and all their accomplishments that led him to what he was able to do. So teamwork, that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. And I've got good news, I've got bad news, and I've got some complicated news. The good news: healthcare is a team sport. And like any team, we come together around a common goal. And that goal is helping each patient achieve their best possible health. And your contribution to that goal and to that mission is invaluable. We couldn't do it without you. That's the good news. Unfortunately, the system of medicine isn't always set up to recognize that, to recognize how valuable you will be to that process. In fact, it may even be discouraging at times. That's the bad news. The complicated news, it's not always obvious what your contribution will be to that healthcare team, or how you can help someone achieve that health that they so desire. The obvious part, that's your job. You've spent the past few years learning it. You've got that down. But I'm here to tell you, you are so much more than your job. And your contribution can be so much greater. When I was 23, I had to have the first of 3 back surgeries. Sorry, I lied a little. There is a little bit about me in here. I spent my youth thinking I was invincible. From jumping out of perfectly good airplanes in the Navy to basically being a little too competitive for my own good, I got hurt repeatedly. But I was really lucky. I had the chief of neurosurgery and his team at a large Army teaching hospital there to do the surgery. And they did an exceptional job, and I healed really well and really quickly. Nowadays, with that surgery, you can walk out of the hospital almost that same day. But back then, you had to spend a day or 2 in the hospital under observation. And while I was there, I was often visited by a young Army corpsman, a medic, who would sit by my bedside while I was laying there and talk with me and joke. And somehow, he learned I really liked chocolate. And later that day, he came back to the room with a candy bar and said, "Sir, this is for you because I know they're not putting any chocolate in your tray." His simple act of kindness and thoughtfulness made me feel like I was really cared for. I wasn't just a disease or a condition that needed fixing. He was a vital part of my healing process, and sadly, he might not have even known that. You too will have many opportunities just like that young corpsman did. And my hope is that you will be able to see them for what they really are, those opportunities for what they really are. You have tremendous power coming out of here. But where that power will be will not always be obvious. And most times you will never even know how deeply you will touch and affect patients' lives. In the words of Spider-Man's Uncle Ben, with great power comes great responsibility. When people come to us, they do so putting all their trust in us, that we will hold sacred the thing that they hold most valuable, their health, or the health of their loved ones. What you will do with that trust is a decision you will have to make at each and every encounter. For me, my compass is I try to be the doctor that I would like to have. It's up to you to find your own compass. An old Cherokee was teaching his grandson about life. "A fight is going on inside me," he said. "It's a terrible fight between 2 wolves, One is evil. It is fear and anger, regret, envy, superiority and ego. The other is good, he continued. It's love and faith and compassion and hope and generosity. The young boy looked at him and asked, "Which one will win?" And the old Cherokee simply replied, "The one you feed." As you embark on your healthcare careers, you too will be accompanied by two pups. One is jaded, demoralized, and feels helpless against the system. This wolf will end up seeing the patients you encounter as a burden, as an inconvenience, and as a result, what you do will simply become a job. The other one is likely the one that brought you to this noble endeavor. It sees the suffering and the hope and the humanity in this epically human struggle. It is the one that, if you continue to feed, will rise above the petty politics and hierarchy of healthcare. It will see the tremendous good that you can do in each patient's life. It can be as simple as helping someone find their way to an appointment, or telling someone the inside scoop of when the best times to go to pharmacy might be, or helping someone struggling with a wheelchair, or even asking a patient what they would like you to call them, or simply smiling as you pass someone in the hallway. And it won't be just your patients that need help. It'll be your colleagues as well. You might be able to help someone who's struggling with boxes, or escort someone to their car when their shift ends late at night. And you may become the unintended member of someone else's team that keeps them safe or saves their lives. So I know this is a big day for you, and I'm not going to take too much more time away from between you and your diplomas. But I am deeply honored to be among the first to welcome you to the noblest of human teams. So before I go, I want to do another experiment. I'd like you all to stand up. For those of you that can easily. And I want to see how easily we can transform this beautiful, amazing audience of relative strangers into a team united by a single idea. Just follow my lead. You know how this goes. You are the champions, my friends. Congratulations on this major milestone in your lives. And welcome to the healthcare team. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this momentous event in your lives. And thank you for all that you will do as part of our team.